Good morning, everybody. It's Jean Marie. I have a project going here with my January 2024 bargain bead box, the Galaxy of Gems. I'm going to do a 3-strand bracelet. I am going to use the toggle bar with the 3 holes in it that I purchased just recently from the Bargain Bead Box sister store, Bead Box Bargains. Came in a package of 3. This is the toggle bar portion of it. The link part, the circular part, I'm actually going to use in a necklace, but I wanted to use these bars up. I hate to use the link portion and then have the bars and not have any kind of way of using them. So I am going to use this to make a bracelet, or I'm going to try to use this to make a bracelet. We'll see how it works. So, as you can see on this one here, I added a series of, oops, maybe you could see it if I was in frame. I added a series of jump rings right over the bar and through those holes, and then added a jump ring to the back through those 3 rings. Try to hold it up here. And this is my plan for how to make this bar work. So, yeah, if you want to watch me see if I can make this work, and, you know, of course, if it don't, you won't be watching it at all because it will be trashed. I did a tutorial yesterday. I did a whole complete necklace, and then I went back to watch the video to make sure everything was okay, and it was just so bad I had to trash the whole entire video. It was just over an hour. A 3-strand necklace. Actually, the necklace using the other portion of this toggle bar. So now I have to reshoot that whole entire video, and hopefully I will not have to reshoot this one. So let's get started. We are going to use these blue pieces of beading wire, scraps that I had left from that tutorial. But, I mean, as you can see, they're not even the same length. They're all just scraps. But probably the longest piece you're going to need is, I would say, 8 inches. 8, maybe 9, just to give yourself enough room to work with. The beaded portion of this is only going to be 6 inches long, because the rest of it's going to be taken up in jump rings and clasps and all that kind of fun stuff. So there's 3 strands of that. I'm going to use that little magnetic clasp that we received with the box. And of course my 2 toggle bars. So if you have any of these kicking around, you know, the toggle bars with the 3 holes, or even 2. You know, you could use the same, do the same technique with a 2, or even a 1, because you can just add the jump ring to the other side of it, and actually that would work just as well, you know. So, yeah, use your toggle bars. Try to figure out something you could do with them. I mean, I've done earrings with them. There's many things you could do with them that will use them up for you. I'm going to have some clamshells. And again, if you prefer to use the wire guardian, go ahead and do that. I don't like wire guardians. I fight with them, and I love wire guardians. I think they're great. Don't get me wrong. I just do not like working with them. I struggle, and being under a camera and struggling is enough as it is, so I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to use clamshells. I have a series of different size jump rings here. My beads for 1 strand are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the chrysocolla beads, and then mixed with that I have the I think they were the labradorite beads, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of those. A bunch of little gold spacer beads. These aren't the ones that came with the box. I've already used those all up. And then the 2nd strand is using the lapis lazuli and the moonstone beads. I did add some bead caps. You don't have to do that. And the 3rd strand, this is the middle strand actually, and I'm using 4 of those crackled agate beads. Some of the little, I think these ones were labradorite, and then some of the little crystal bicone beads. And I got a cat here. There, no, it's my hair. There's a hair there. So, I guess we'll just start with an outer strand. String that up. And this is a very simple stringing project. The hardest part is going to be getting the toggle, that toggle bar, getting the rings over that. Please excuse my dirty mat. It's time to throw it into the washing machine again, and every time I record, my camera sets up in a different place, so I have different spots for where my center is. I should probably try to scrub those out in between, but it's magic marker, so it's not going to work. So I'm just going to take one strand of my beading wire, and I have a blue beading wire here. It's just a small strand of blue beading wire that I part of that package of 10 that I had purchased through Amazon. And again, these were just scraps I cut off from the necklace when I worked on yesterday, but they'll work just fine for this, and it's a chance to use them up. So, let me pull up my picture of how I had it here, just so I can remember and make sure I've got it right. Because I will put it together and have it totally different than it originally was. I know me. Alright, that's what I thought. I started off with 2 of the gold beads. And if you're using the ones in the box, they are a little larger than these. So, you know, you might want to adjust yours accordingly. You might want to just leave the gold beads off the end. But I have 2 gold beads. And then I have a moonstone bead, and then another gold bead, and then I put on a bead cap. These are a pretty little filigree bead cap, but you could use any bead cap you have in your stash. I put on one of those lapis lazuli beads. And then another, I'm going to dump these, it's just easier. Another bead cap. And then another gold bead. I have been wanting to do a tutorial doing bead weaving. Wire weaving, bead weaving, yeah, wire weaving with a coin bead and make earrings. I do a lot of wire weaving. I just don't do it on camera because it's really hard for me to work under this camera and not bump it continuously, and working with wire is 10 times worse. But I would like to try and make a tutorial eventually doing that, showing you guys how to do that. So this is the pattern so far, and it's just going to continue this way to the end. So I'm going to finish this strand up, and I'll be right back. So here is that strand all strung up. And it measures my ruler turned around here the correct way. Measures out at just at 6 inches. So prior to this tutorial, the only thing I did was string beads up to make sure that I had the right configuration to make each strand 6 inches. I have not attempted putting this bracelet together yet, so once I get these strung, I'll be in uncharted territory. So this is the second strand. And again, I'm just using a chunk of that cut beading wire. Works just fine. And so on this one, I start with one of the blue crystal beads, and then I did 2 of these little we had for our moon, or Pluto I mean, which I guess is a moon, but two of these. another blue crystal, and then 2 more of these, and then it will change just a little bit inside because I had to adjust the ends to make this 6 inches, so I don't know where that one just went. There it is. And then one of these, I love these beads. I think I said in my unboxing, I'm not a huge fan of yellow. I'm not a huge fan of yellow or orange actually, but I absolutely love these beads, and they are a yellowy orange, but they're just so beautiful. So the only thing different in the in-between is that I'm going to have 2 more of the white on the other end, whereas I had 2 white on this end, but I had to shorten it up. It was too long, so I just took the 2 off the ends. So it'll just be 2. Instead of starting with the blue, I'll start with 2 of these, and then the blue, and then 2 of these. Now there's a hole here. Some of these beads are just so hard to find the hole. They blend right in with those black spots. And then another blue, and 2 more of these. So it's 2 of these are blue, 2 of these are blue, 2 of these. I believe these are, I think they're labradorite. I can't remember. And then another yellow one. So again, the pattern. This right here is the pattern, with the ends being just short those 2 beads. So again, I'm going to finish this strand up, and I'll be back. So here's this strand done. I think it actually looks really pretty, considering the color scheme. It really actually goes together really well. So again, this one also measures out at 6 inches. So they're just the same. And that is the center strand. So now for the second outer strand is the one using the chrysocolla and just the little gold beads and those little labradorite rounds. Let me grab my string again, if I can find it. I don't know where I put it. And this one is going to start off with just 2 of the gold beads like the other one. And this one's a real simple pattern. And then we have one of the labradites, one of the chrysocollas, one of the labradorite, I can never say that word, labradorite. There, I think I got it. And actually, let me check real quick, make sure it was 2 beads on that one. Yes. Just doesn't seem like I have enough there, but I must have. They came off the other strand. So then it's just 2 beads in between again, and after that it is just the same pattern of the labradorite and chrysocolla and labradorite. So I'm just going to continue string this one up. This is going to go really fast. It's just so simple. So we'll just finish this one up here on screen, and I was watching a tutorial this morning by Misty Moon Creations. She was doing a cluster necklace. I don't know which box she got, if it was just stuff from her own stash, I don't really remember, but gosh, it was beautiful. It was just so simplistic, but really, really gorgeous. She's very talented. I love watching her tutorials. I get a lot of inspiration from her. I think probably at the end of this I was only supposed to have one gold bead, and that's why it looked like I'm not going to have enough, so I'm going to take one off the other end afterwards. That's why I tie knots. It's just way easier to untie a knot than to have to take off something that I've already crimped and, you know, put a clamshell on or a wire guardian on, and makes working from the other end much easier. Probably had originally started this one off with 2 on the end, and it was, again, too much. I had to take something off. Yep. So I'm just going to untie this end. Maybe. I may just cut it. I think I'm just going to cut it. Them off. Just retie it. This is also a good part of having an extra long piece of beading wire. I'm going to end up losing that one right here. I just know I am. Try to hold that so we don't lose the other end. Retie this one. There we go. Got it. Get in there. All right. So there's this one. Very, very simple. Get it to focus a little bit. There we go. That's a little better. So there's our 3 strands. Now for the fun part, figuring out how to put them together. Actually, it's not going to be that hard. Literally, I'm just going to use crimp beads and clamshells and hook them to this little toggle bar. And I'll show you how I did this one with this second bar. Need a few crimp beads. And my clamshells for the time being. So I'm just going to cut this knot off. Slide my clamshell down over it. Put my crimp bead on. Squeeze it shut. I do like to add a second one. I've only been doing this lately, but I saw it on somebody else's tutorial and I thought, well, that's such a good idea. I mean, just in the off chance that one of them didn't grip tight enough, or, you know, you never know, it could crack, whatever. But having 2 of them on there just gives it a little extra security. You can use a little glue if you want that. I don't use glue. I've never used glue on them, and I've never had any problems with them, but just give it a little bit of a pinch, not too much. Then get the knot off this end. And on this end, of course, I'm going to have to open that clamshell up to almost flat, not quite flat. If you flatten it too much or bend it back too much, you're going to crack it, and then it's not going to when you go to close it back up again, it's going to split. So just be careful of that. Put your crimp bead on, and just let gravity do its thing here. Grab your crimp bead without pushing down, just keeping it right where gravity is holding it. Give it a squeeze. Put on your second one if you're going to use a second one. Give that a little squeeze. And that strand's ready to go. That's one strand ready. I think those Chrysocolla beads are beautiful. I think this whole box was beautiful. It really was an amazing collection of beads this month. So same process. Drop on your clamshell. Grab your crimp beads. And this is where I always struggle. There we go. Get one on there. Give it a crimp. Give it a crimp. Trim it off. Close up your clamshell. I prefer the clamshells that have 2 loops, but this batch does not. I have plenty of string on this one. I have a lot to work with, so I'm not too worried about how short I cut it. And again, open up the clamshell. This is a bit of a repetitive process, but pick up that crimp bead. And of course this time you have to let it go to the end. I try to grab it. Oops, didn't quite have it there. Give it a squeeze. I know it's probably hard to see when I'm doing the first crimp because of the fact that I'm holding it, you know, up and down. My hand's probably in the way, but it's the exact same process as doing it this way. I'm just trying to keep it from having gaps in the chain, in the, you know, in the beaded part, because if you end up with gaps in it when you're done, they're there. You know, you're gonna have gaps. It's just all there is to it. There's gonna be gaps. So let's close that one back up. So all my new subscribers out there that I've gotten this past week, thank you so very much. I appreciate every one of you coming along and joining me. Gosh, that's pretty. Such pretty colors. I do like blue. Blue is right up there with one of my, actually teal is my favorite color, which is a, you know, byproduct of blue, I suppose. Well, I thought I could undo that one and save myself a little string, but I guess not. Alright, one more time. Pinch. One more. And pinch. Bring up my bead cap. Do the opposite end. I am going to try to untie this one. It's not too tight. Just give me more cord to work with. Hang on to. Get an extra one, I guess. You run away, crimp bead. So I will try to do this one from the side a little bit for you so that you can see it a little better. I know it's hard to see it when I'm crimping this one. So I don't want to push down because that'll tighten everything up. I just want it to be right where it landed when gravity pulled it. And then squeeze it. And then squeeze that one. Give it a trim. And our strands are ready. So it's relatively fast and easy. So this is what our 3 strands are going to look like. Kind of pretty. Let's get this stuff out of my way. Alright. So I'm going to do this one up on here first with some jump rings, and then we'll go through the process of showing you how I did that. If I can remember. I do want to check to see which size jump rings I had. Alright, I think they were the ones from this box here. And we need 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I need 3, 4 of them, so. These are 6mm jump rings. So I might as well go ahead and just use, I'm going to use these little, I think they're 4mm, to fasten the strands onto this, because I have those clamshells already taking up quite a chunk of room. And I don't want too much clutter on there. I think I need to get out some, oh, there's one right there. Hopefully they'll be good ones. So for tools, we haven't even had to use our round nose pliers, so just 2 pairs of pliers for opening and closing jump rings, and our cutters. That's all we're really using on this one. So just open up your jump ring. I'm going to do the middle strand first. And on the loop side, and of course I have those jump rings in there, so it's going to take up a little of the space, so I've got to finagle it to get it in there. Plus it's a very thick bar. The metal, the ring is, I noticed that also yesterday when I was doing the necklace tutorial, that this metal is quite chunky. So you have to open up your jump ring quite a little bit to get it in there. And we'll just struggle until we get it. There we go. So, let me bring it up close and get it in here. So this is what we've got. We are coming through, well, that center ring right there is where I'm going with this. Try to make it look easy, but it's not. So then I'm going to close it up. It's hanging on this side. And the jump rings with the other jump ring on it are on that side. So we're just going to continue doing that with the other 2. Hopefully this is making sense. But if you have any questions, feel free to leave me a message and ask. I don't mind. You know. As long as it's not a snide, nasty comment. We don't need those. I don't mind. Nobody wants those. There's enough of that in this world already. We don't need that. You do want to make sure, if you're doing this method, that when you go through the loop here, you've got those jump rings that we've got going through over the bar out of the way. These do not want to go over these rings. They're so thick. I'm going to have to open it up a little more. There we go. I think we got it. Or not. Get my pliers out of the way. Maybe that would help. There we go. There we go. Pliers were in the way. So there's that. Hopefully it makes sense to you. I think it's going to lay really well. May have to add a little extender chain to it though. I thought it would add a lot more doing this, but don't know as it is. Alright, so now we're going to take our 6mm jump rings, and you do need to open them pretty good because you got to get over that bar. You're going through this loop, same loop that we just did, but you're going over the bar side of it and closing it. So this is what we've got. And you're going to do that with all three, one in each ring over the bar. I honestly have never seen this technique. I don't know if somebody else has ever done it, and if so, all credit goes to them, but I honestly have never seen this done. It was just something I thought about doing to use up this bar because I didn't want to see it go to waste. And I'm always trying to figure out ways to use these bars beyond the norm. I like to think outside the box sometimes. So that's my second one over the bar. And now the third one will be done. And just go through that ring over the bar. I say that like it's easy, but it's really not. These rings are, I mean, these bars are thick, and it's a lot to get your jump ring over. You could go with a bigger jump ring, but I don't think it would look very good. I think it would probably, I don't know, I don't think it would look right. It wouldn't disappear in it like these ones do. Just have to open it more. There we go. So here we are with all three rings. So the next step I'm going to do is just take one more, and I'm going to capture all three of those into one. So just open up another jump ring and capture all three rings like that, and close it up. And this is what we've got. Hopefully you can see it. Doesn't look like it's clearing, but there we go. It's a little clearer now. So again, we're going to attach the other end. Again with these little, I gotta get up some more, those little 4mm jump rings. There's quite enough of them there. looks like all the ones I do have are not very good quality. I'll have some right here. There we go. So again, we're just going to attach these onto, and again, I gotta open it wider. You think I'd know. It would help if I could hold on to things. It still doesn't want to go over it. I don't want to open it too much because I don't want to weaken the jump ring, but I guess gotta get it a little bigger. People that don't fumble as much as I do would probably be able to do this pretty easily. I don't know why that does not want to go over that loop. Alright, I'm going to do this and get my plier out of the way because it might be just too much weight. I mean, too much. Yeah, see, the plier was just in the way. There we go. That works way easier. All else fails, use your fingers. And again, the second middle one. Right in the, oops, it's not the middle ring. That one's the middle ring. Got it backwards, but that's okay. And there's two on. And get number 3 on there. There's the third one on. So there's our bracelet so far. Get it to lay. So I think that's going to be really pretty. Actually, you know what? With the clasp, that's just perfect for my wrist. I don't think I need to add a extra chain. But if it was for somebody else, you know, and they needed a little longer, you know, figure, but that was 6 inches. This is a good 1/2 inch right here. So that brings it up to 7 inches, and then with your clasp at 7.5 inches, that's a standard bracelet size, and that's pretty much what I wear, so yeah, not too bad. I'm just going to use the same ring that we used on here because I think it'll be easier than trying to deal with the one on the little magnetic clasp there. It's got a lot of stuff hanging off and I don't want to lose them. Of course it's magnet, so it's going to pull itself right to it. Alright, get that down over it. Twist that back up. Do the same thing on the other end. Get the right one. And this is the one that we went through the 3 jump rings with, the jump ring at the end that went through the 3 jump rings. That's the one we're adding the clasp to. Or your extender chain if you want to add extender chain. I can't even talk. It's bad enough I can't think, let alone talk. Alright. Alright. see what we got here. I didn't close that one well, obviously, because I just pulled it off. Alright, let's try that again. Those magnets, they just get right in the way. They adhere to everything when you're trying to close it. Alright. It's stuck to my bar. Try to get it to, there we go. It's attached to something. I don't think it's to each other though. Who says these are easier? Probably for somebody with half a brain. But not me. Alright. I will get it. I will get it. There we go, I got it. Yay. So that worked out really well. I wasn't quite sure if it was going to. I'm really glad it did. Whoops, that goes there. Put my moon back out here. It just wants to keep going to the magnet. But yeah, that was just using those 3-link toggle bars that were left over from, might even in frame, I hope so, that were left over from the link part, the ring part that I chose to use in a necklace. And I think it came out really pretty. Let me get up close for you. So here's the bracelet. And moon keeps sticking to the magnet. So is the stars. I might have to take those off. Maybe do a crystal one. But there you have it. It worked out really well. It's just jump ringed through those and then brought together with another jump ring to create the clasp. And yeah, it worked out. I don't think I'm going to use a magnetic clasp on it though, because it's just grabbing everything. But I think it came out pretty good. It's really cute. It's pretty. So I hope you liked it, everybody. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I would love to have you join my channel. I want to make another tutorial very soon. I'm going to redo the necklace one that I did yesterday. I'll probably redo that tomorrow and hopefully get that out to you. And in the meantime, here's another look at the bracelet. It really did come out pretty good. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I'm really happy that I was able to share this technique with some of you that may not have ever thought to do that, or, you know, have extra toggle bars and don't know how to use them up. You could do the same exact thing and hang 3 strands off in it and make it an earring. And that would be real pretty as well. Actually, it would be very pretty. Yeah. So there's that. And thank you for joining me. So I do have to go through the whole housekeeping here. If you want to join the bargain bead box and you'd like to give it a try and save $2, put in SHAR2 in your as your coupon code when you're ready to check out. Save $2 off your first month's box. It is $20.99 a month. This month's box, the one I just worked with, was packed full of gemstones. It was a $104 value. We paid $20.99 for it. You can't beat that. I mean, if you had used a coupon code on it and saved yourself $2, you'd have paid $18.99 for it. $104 worth of beading goodiness. So yeah, give it a try. Once you are a subscriber, you can shop in the sister store, which is Beadbox Bargains. Beadbox Bargains. The site is Bargain Beadbox. The store is Beadbox Bargains. You can shop in there with your coupon code that comes with your monthly box and get 30% off every single month, the whole month long. So that's another extremely good perk because their prices are already incredible. Most of what I have in my on-hand supplies, I get through there because I can place a big order, take that 30% off, and you know, like I said, the prices were already good to begin with, and I can really stock up my stash. And yeah, and that toggle bar that I just used, that set is in there right now. I just bought these. You know, it's not something I've had kicking around in my stash forever. It's something I just got. So yeah, again, please subscribe. Please leave me a comment. Please let me know if you liked this idea, or if you thought it would, you know, if it worked well and it's something you'd like to try. Let me know, or let me know how if you tried it and how it turned out. I love hearing from you guys. Thank you. Bye.